Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon everyday earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy BVO Boxing, man, the king of boxing talk. I'm in the house with my favorite Puerto Rican D-Free. But we got a big show for y'all, the Mexican Mouse. So we're gonna be talking about, one of the most cowardly things we've seen in a long time. David Benavidez turning down a reported $8 million guaranteed. Oh my God, what a guy. But let's get into the show today. What's going on, Free? What's on your mind, brother? How you feeling?
What's good? What's good?
So today, man, we gotta talk about this. So Abdullah Mason has been called out. You think he should answer the call, man? The guy that called him out is kind of a prospect. I don't know if Eddie Hearn would let him get that fight. I think he signed with Oscar. I can't remember. But I don't know if they'll let him fight him. What do you think about that? Do you think we'll possibly see Abdullah Mason against somebody a little bit tougher, or what do you think?
Tougher. I don't think Andy Cruz is tougher, if that's what you're alluding to. I think Andy Cruz is the one that's looking for a step up. Andy Cruz has been struggling with opponents as of late, so it will be Andy Cruz that's stepping up. I think. I don't know if Andy Cruz is ready for Abdullah Mason, but he can get in there if he wants to.
Yeah,
I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of showed us some struggles with guys I thought he really should have easily washed up, but that's boxing. I think Abdullah Mason has been terrific. We've seen him in his last fight. He kind of looked a little rough, but that may be it was his birthday, a little jitters. Some people say because he cut his hair. I don't know about that, but he didn't look like the Abdullah Mason we're used to seeing, but he got the same result, so we'll take it as that. But what do you think about it's a lot of people out there now saying that Abdullah Mason is overrated. What do you say to that?
I would say he's underrated if you're not paying attention to him. I think people who are paying attention to Abdullah Mason, they know exactly what they see in him. So it might be a few people that's not really paying attention to Abdullah Mason. They might say he's underrated. I mean, I remember when people was laughing at me when I was talking about Abdullah Mason, last year or the year before last, and people was like, "Man, you crazy." I'm like, "Okay, y'all see." Abdullah Mason just been continuing on, knocking people out, making short fights with these guys, and he's been stepping up the competition every single time he get in the ring.
Yeah, it's one of the things with my brother Crush. Definitely salute the Mike Rim pulling up. I think the thing that's so funny about it, no matter how it plays out, I think Abdullah Mason is ready for a big challenge. I'm hoping this year that he fights for a belt. but we know how slow the belts move, and none of the belts are really with top rank at 35. I think other than Lomachenko. So I don't know if he'll get a Lomachenko shot. I definitely don't believe he'll get a shot like that. But that being said, I hope to see him just stay far away because we're starting to see a lot of guys at 140 calling him out. And I'm just wondering, it might not be safe for him pretty soon. So he might have to come to 140 and join the party. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the top rank got two belts. They got Keyshawn. They got Loma. Loma. I don't know if he's coming back. So it's a chance that Loma will come back, but I don't know. So that belt might be up for grabs. I think they send what's his name? I can't even think. Raymond Muratalla. Raymond Muratalla might be fighting to get in line for that belt. I would love to see Abdullah Mason versus Raymond Muratalla, and fight for that the IBF belt. So I mean, if guys is calling out Abdullah Mason from 140, what's wrong with the smoke at 140? Y'all don't want to fight those guys? Y'all want to fight the smaller guy?
I mean, I think when you see a guy who has some holes in it with some notoriety, I think that's what people are basically, picking up on. He kind of has some defensive laps, but I think that's only because he's young. Ray Tyler, I think he'll beat him easy because he went life and death with TF, and I think TF is a little bit longer than the two. So if he went life and death with TF, I don't think he got a chance against Abdullah Mason. Because Abdullah Mason can really fight. I just think he doesn't have any defense, but he can fight. But that being said, man, we gotta talk about this, man. What do you think about this upcoming fight, Boots versus Stanionis? Tomorrow we got Brian Norman coming through, man, to talk about it. But what do you think about that fight coming up with Boots and Stanionis?
I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna answer a lot of questions for both these guys. A lot of people getting on Boots for the performance he had with the two fights with Kern, and then a lot of people saying Stanionis hasn't really fought anybody except for Boutier. Outside of that, he hasn't really fought anybody. I mean, you look at the common opponent that both these guys had with, I believe it was Thomas Delorme, and they kind of said it was a controversial win for Jaron Ennis. They said some people say that Jaron hit him behind the head. He got him out of there in one round, but I think it's going to answer a lot of questions for both these guys because we know that Stanionis is a come forward fighter. He doesn't really move around the ring, and he just try to get on the inside and break his opponent down. And with Jaron Ennis, he's more of a boxer puncher, and he's gonna give you different angles and show fast hand speed and a little bit of the little ring IQ that he has that I believe is better than Stanionis. But it's make for an interesting fight. I want to see what type of fight is Jaron going to fight because he can make this an easy fight or he can make it a hard fight. He can make it an easy fight by just being himself and outboxing him and just letting the shots come to him, or he can make it a hard fight by trying to stay in the pocket and fight with Stanionis, which that's what Stanionis want him to do. So I mean, I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a highlight reel type of fight. This guy is tailor made for Jaron, and Jaron Ennis is a lot of things, but one thing he isn't. He is skilled. He's a very skilled fighter, and I think a guy who's just gonna come blindly to him front. We seen what he did to the guy from 140. So I just think we're gonna see Boots in another easy fight. It won't be able to tell us where he really is, but I just know from what I'm seeing with Boots, if he's probably gonna do what he did to Villa to Stanionis, but who was Stanionis? Stanionis ain't fought nobody. He's been very inactive. He waited forever for Virgil Ortiz, and we know about now we get it, which a lot of people didn't understand when BVO was saying, hey, he don't want that Virgil Ortiz work because we seen Virgil Ortiz going there with Boacek, real tough guy. Then he went in there with Majimov, beat him easy. So we know he probably would have beat the black off of Boots. So it was a good thing for Boots to stay at 147. I just feel bad because he stayed at 147 just to possibly get knocked out by Brian Norman Jr. I'm just wondering would a winner have enough cojones to step to Brian Norman Jr.? What do you think about that?
Well, we'll see. It seemed like Brian Norman is doing what I said that his team should do, and going after Mario Barrio, trying to collect that other belt. So when he does fight Jaron Ennis, it's an undisputed fight, which is a good move. I said that right after he had his fight. I said what he needs to do is go fight Mario Barrio, get that other belt. So when you do fight Jaron Ennis, it's for all the marbles. Not only will you get the payday that you were looking for, but you also can possibly get the goal that you set for yourself and become an undisputed. And I mean that's one less fight that Jaron got to worry about and make it even one step closer to his goal as well. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I mean I still favor Jaron Ennis over all of these guys until I see somebody actually beat him up. I mean I got to favor him. He looks the more skilled guy. He definitely has more athleticism than these other guys. I think Brian Norman is a decent fighter. I just don't think that he's ready for Jaron Ennis just yet. I think he might need another fight or two. But I don't think Mario Barrio is that fight to get him ready for Jaron Ennis neither.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying in that aspect. I just think when it comes to Boots Ennis, I think him doing what he did with Cameron Duncan and his father, moving him so slow, in a way it kind of put him in a bad position because he really hasn't, had any big fights. And he's 30 years old and he's fighting pretty much, guys who are, 6-7 years younger than him, in Brian Norman's case. So I mean, no matter what, he don't got long at the division. If I was Brian Norman Jr., I would really, really make him pay like he weighed for the fight because I mean we know you're not gonna be there long. And we'll see what happens because we know that Brian Norman Jr. has some deficiencies, but he showed us the right hands like dynamite. So I mean I don't think Boots necessarily wants that kind of fight because we haven't even seen him matched up against somebody with a lot of power. You could say Karen Lukadantic was a guy that gave him way more trouble. I think Brian Norman Jr. knocks him out easy. But that's just, styles make fights. But that being said, man, what do you think about seeing that there was a big report that just came out that David Benavidez turned down $8 million a fight Bivol, and then after that, Bivol went ahead and just relinquished the belt. Do you think that was a duck on David Benavidez's part?
No, because what I saw, what Mauricio said, he said Demetrius Bivol turned down $8 million. I don't know if David Benavidez turned down $8 million. The little clip that you showed, that you put in our link, it said Demetrius Bivol turned down $8 million. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
No, I know what Bivol is doing, but I mean, we got to call it how we see it. You said you wanted to fight the guy, and then they gave him $8 million, and he not taking it. So you got to call it a duck.
Yeah, it's just one of them things, man. I just don't know what's going on. Because we keep saying this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and that's the one thing about boxing. There's so much misinformation. I just think, for me, it's been well documented how I feel when it comes to Benavidez, that he never wanted to fight Canelo. But everybody knows that. I just think no matter how it goes, he was looking for notoriety, and he kind of did the same thing Devin did to Tank. He just kind of hooked onto him to make his name known because really, he hasn't done much in the ring for you to really know him. He beat a couple guys who were past their prime. Just like he never fought Caleb Plant when Caleb Plant had the belt and he had the belt. So it's just one of them things, and they was on the same side of the street. So we know he don't want to fight people at their absolute apex. he wants to fight him after Canelo and knocked him out, or he want to fight a guy who's really 154 pounder, drug all the way up to 68 like Boo Andre. I mean, that's the kind of guys he want to fight. He's not looking to fight the toughest guys, but that's okay. It's just one of them things where I'm just super shocked by that. But that being said, man, what do you think about Keyshawn versus Edward De Los Santos?
I think it's a good fight if it happens. There's reports that Edwin De Los Santos.
De Los Santos would be a really good fight. He's one of those guys where he's really, really crafty. I mean, Keyshawn Davis said it before. You know, he's probably one of the best fighters he's ever fought, and I just think people don't understand that. That fight was more of a chess match than most people probably realize. Even though, you know, of course, Keyshawn kept his hands in his pocket. But who do you think will win that fight? I think Keyshawn will knock him out. What about you?
I don't know. I mean, there'll be opportunity for Keyshawn to knock him out. I mean, there will be opportunities for De Los Santos to land some big shots as well. I think De Los Santos might have slightly better feet than Keyshawn. And I'm not, when I say slightly better, I mean far as the movement. Keyshawn more so put his feet in position to land his shot. De Los Santos put his feet in position to maneuver shots and give different angles. So I think De Los Santos' feet might be slightly better, but far as boxing ability, I think both of them are about even. Far as boxing ability, I don't know who has the better ring IQ because none of them have really fought that top level of a guy. The closest that Edwin came to was fighting Shakur, and we know how that went.
Yeah.
So I don't know about the ring IQ. That remains to be seen. Who has the better ring IQ? But I think it's going to be a good fight if they ever get it made. Because, like I said, I heard reports that De Los Santos is not accepting the fight. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now. That's something that just came out. They were saying Carl Montiel says that Edwin De Los Santos was offered at least $400,000 to fight Keyshawn Davis, and apparently it looks like De Los Santos is saying it's not enough money, which I understand. $400,000 is a kind of a low number to fight a champion. I will hope they get at least $750,000. But I mean, really, both of these guys are unproven, and nobody is really going to come out to see them guys. So it is what it is. He said Morrell was past his prime. No, Morrell was a prospect, man. So him beating Morrell, it don't really count. I mean, he beat a prospect. I mean,
Taylor Plant wasn't past his prime. I think going back to David Benavidez, I heard what you said. I think it was more so you said he didn't want to fight none of these guys or whatever. It was more so he was doing what Canelo said. He said Canelo told him, you fight all these guys, all y'all mix it up. Whoever wins, I'll fight the winner. He did exactly what Canelo said do. Canelo said, "This is if you want to fight, y'all gotta beat each other. Whoever comes out on top, I'll fight the winner." Well, David Benavidez went in there and beat all those guys, and he didn't want to smoke with David Benavidez. The man told him, "Oh, y'all want me to fight David Benavidez? I need $150-200 million." I'm like, no. When did you get $150-200 million? You didn't even get that to fight Floyd. You didn't even get that to fight Floyd, and Floyd is a much bigger name than David Benavidez.
I think he made like $40 million back then, though. So what's that? What, 80 now? Probably.
He made like $5 million or something like that. He made like $5 million, but Floyd told him he can keep all the pay-per-views in Mexico. He said you can keep all your pay-per-views in Mexico, and whatever it does, that's your money. And I think Floyd got like 90% of the pay-per-views in America.
Yeah, he got a lion's share of the money for sure. He said, I need to see Keyshawn get cracked. Salute the crush. And he said De Los Santos ain't worth $400,000. I can see that, but let me ask you this. Because one thing I was wondering, I never got your opinion on this. What do you think about Coach Kenny saying that Keyshawn, who's only 3 years younger than Tank, is trying to age Tank out? Have you ever heard have you ever heard anything like that before?
You sure you said it Keyshawn or Shakur?
Shakur, sorry, Shakur. My mistake, Shakur.
I mean,
Shakur is trying to age him out.
It very well It very well could be. I mean, we know that
3
there
years
was
apart.
opportunity for that they said that that Floyd was trying to age out Manny Pacquiao when Floyd was the older fighter.
I remember hearing it. That was crazy.
They said Floyd was trying to age out Manny Pacquiao, but Floyd was 2 years older than Manny Pacquiao.
I remember that. You know, one thing I will say, when it comes to that whole Manny Pacquiao thing, he was scared because he knew it was going to happen. I mean, don't get me wrong, the fight was boring, and there was a lot of like controversy because all of a sudden, you know, Manny Pacquiao pop up with he had a broken collarbone or something. I mean, it was just really. Go ahead.
No, I said that's what he said.
Yeah, so he got a broken collarbone or whatever, and then you know his arm was hurting, but he was throwing his arm like nobody's tomorrow. Because I remember seeing Gary Russell Jr. when he had one arm, he wasn't throwing that arm. So that whole he had one arm. It was no matter how you slice it, Floyd would have beat Manny Pacquiao 9 out of 10 times. So that no matter what happened, that's what that was. But I'll say this, man, it's kind of funny to hear Tank's people say that, because I think it's nothing more than another narrative. I mean, the narratives that come from, you know, Tank's camp, I think it's like laughable, because I really don't like him fighting Lamont next, because if Lamont wins, the whole tower comes down. You know, I don't know if you ever play Yahtzee or whatever that is, you know, where you put the blocks up. I mean, we just see him slowly. If Lamont is able to beat Tank, that's the end of Tank. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the whole thing goes down or whatever, because I think people still want to see Tank Davis fight. I mean, we saw Canelo get beat, and people still wanted to fight Canelo. He still was the cash cow, right, and people still wanted to fight him. So I don't know if that is true. I mean, anybody can be beat. Anybody can have a bad night. Whether he wins or lose, I think there's still people that's going to want to fight him, because he still is the cash cow. The fans are still going to be behind Tank Davis, especially if it's a close fight and Lamont Roach edge it out. He's still going to have his fans behind him. Most of them going to say, well, they know each other. Lamont knew what to expect from Tank Davis and things like that. So, I mean, he's still the biggest money bag at the lower weight classes. So I don't think anything will change between Tank and other guys. I think they still gonna want to fight Tank Davis, because they still gonna want that money grab.
Yeah, so to my brother TS3. I think the funny thing about it, and some people, you know, if you say anything positive, or they say you're a hater. So I don't know, man. It's one of them things where I think his fans are not boxing fans. I think they're just Tank fans. Because I guess I've seen, in my personal opinion, I've seen some of the most, like, what's that word Prize use? You know, butt eating, or whatever you call it. It'd be the most like riding like a rodeo show I ever seen. Like, people love Tank like he their Lord and Savior, bro. And it's kind of funny because it's like the dude ain't fought nobody. Deontay Wilder, when he lost, but he tried to fight a bunch of guys. When Canelo lost, yeah, he lost, but he tried to fight a bunch of guys. You really can look at Tank Davis's resume and see he hasn't fought his contemporaries. And yes, he's offered people to fight, and they haven't taken it for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, man, if he retires now, he'll probably go down as one of the biggest disappointments as far as what we thought he could be, because I think Lamont Roach kind of exposed him that he never was all that.
I mean, if you want to say he hasn't fought his contemporaries, none of them have. I mean, Tank
it's
fought
not true.
Ryan.
Ryan has.
No, what I'm about to say, Tank fought Ryan, and Ryan fought Devin. Devin fought Loma. Devin fought two guys that we wanted to see him fight. Tank fought one guy, and Ryan fought two guys that we wanted to see him fight. T.O. fought Loma. So, I mean, none of them really fought. I mean, nobody asked for him to fight Josh Taylor. That was a fight that we was glad to see, but nobody asked for. That's not his contemporary. But when we talking about his contemporaries, I mean, nobody's really fighting their contemporaries except for, I mean, you want to throw Ryan in there. Ryan is the only one because Loma is not their contemporary. Loma is older than those guys.
Yeah.
He's much older than those guys. He's not their contemporary. So none of them are really doing it except for Ryan, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. the doggone racist drug cheat is the one actually fighting people. But let me read this comment real quick. My man DS3 said BVO hilarious on 78, talking about Benavidez Zuck Canelo. When Benavidez begged Canelo for a fight for years. No, he begged for a payday, bro. I don't know why y'all keep trying to, shout out to my man 78 Sports letting me come up and talk a little bit. But at the end of the day, man, we know he never wanted that kind of smoke. And what you're saying does have some credence to it, Free. But I will say this. When you wear the crown, that's kind of what it is. And I'll put like this. The Tank fans are so busy up his skirt, they don't realize nobody really cares about him as a person. I want to see him fight. I don't care about his legal issues. I don't care about what he's been through. I don't care where he's from. I want to see fights. I think guys are making it way too personal. You just want to see great fights. I mean, Floyd didn't get offended when we asked Floyd to fight Gotti. Actually, nobody told him to fight Gotti, and he did. So it's like we just want to see guys there to be great, and that's it. This ain't no. I don't have an axe to grind with Tank Davis or anything crazy like that. So I just find it laughable, but that the guys got to protect him so much. It's just like it's kind of like as Fred Sample said, "Ugh, give me the heebie-jeebies."
No, I just think people hold Tank to higher regards than they hold other fighters. I think because Tank makes so much money, he draws so many fans to they hold him in higher regards than they hold other fighters, because we don't hear the same thing about Shakur. We don't hear, Shakur's not fighting anybody. Shakur's not fighting his contemporaries. We don't hear the same thing about Devin Haney. We don't hear the same thing about Tio. We only hear this about Tank. I mean, Tio only fought Loma. That's the only person he fought. And like I said,
I don't know how you.
No. I'm talking about far as the guy that we want to see fight. He only fought Loma. That's the only one he fought. What
about Richard Comey? Nobody wanted to see that fight?
Nobody knew who Richard Comey or Tio was at that time. Nobody knew who neither one of them was.
Nobody knew who they was.
I mean, we were happy for the
leave it to the Puerto Rican. What did he say? Nobody knew who they was.
We was happy for the fight. It was an fight. Nobody knew who they was. No, I mean, nobody knew who these guys were. Then you keep bringing up Richard Comey like Richard Comey was some huge name.
Hey, that's funny, man.
He was a name to the boxing diehards.
Hey, speaking of that fight, one thing we ain't did this, man. I'm gonna break it down. Tell me how you see it. If you see it the same way I do. I see Boots and Stanionis probably going the distance. I think Stanionis is gonna come forward like he always do, and I think around the 6th or 7th, you're gonna see Boots kind of take control with his jab. Because one thing I was watching some Stanionis tape, he lead with that head. He's like a battering ram. He wants to lead with that head, and you don't want to do that with a slick black fighter. And when we say slick black fighter, I'm talking about a fighter who can get out of the way of shots. And Boots has kind of showed you, not so much lately, but he can get out of the way of shots. And I just don't think, he really has a chance to put enough work together to beat Boots. How do you see that fight playing out?
I see Stanionis lead with his head. I see Boots hitting him with that long range uppercut from a distance. That uppercut that I've seen in so many different highlights. A lot of people use that as one of their highlight reels of Jaron Ennis. And Stanionis with a high guard, it helps to protect your head somewhat. But if Jaron, what he normally does when people come with a high guard, he normally throws that quick looping shot behind the guard. It kind of hits them behind the ear. Some people say, he hits them in the back of the head, but sometimes it hits them behind the ear. So that knocks you off your equilibrium. You're getting hit behind the ear. So he can try to come forward with that high guard, but I think Jaron and his arms are so long that Stanionis, he got small arms. I think his arms is like a 69, 68 arm reach, or maybe might be 70. But Jaron got a 74-inch arm reach, so he got long arms. So Stanionis, the only way he has a chance is by Jaron letting him get in close. Let him get in mid-range or up close. If Jaron keeps him at a distance, Jaron can win this fight easily. He can catch him with the shots from the outside. He can catch him different angles. He could switch it up southpaw, and he think it's coming from the right, it's coming from the left, vice versa. So it's so many different variations that Jaron can win this fight. It's just a matter of what is Jaron going to do? Is he going to fight smart, or is he going to try to show Movado and be the bigger dog in the ring? So if Jaron fights smart, he can win this fight easy.
Yeah, and shout out to Brian Norman, who said it best. Boots is a very dirty fighter. He's really good at hitting you in the back of the head, rabbit punches. Definitely hitting you on the belt right at the line. So I think little old school tactics like that. Bozy Ennis has done a very good job with Boots Ennis, because Boots Ennis, if you watch him, he's a smart fighter. He can fight a few different ways, but I'll say this. I've never seen Errol Spence, and I'm just bringing Errol Spence up because they're kind of similar to me. I've never seen Errol Spence outside of that Mikey Garcia fight show the kind of boxing ability that I've seen from Boots. So I just think his boxing ability alone is going to be like head and shoulders above Stanionis. I mean, because Stanionis, I always have thought he was a bum. That's just me. I mean, I could be wrong. He's just really nothing but a bull in a china shop. And that's all he's ever been, in my opinion. I remember when he picked up the regular belt before he got a chance to become the full champion. It's just always been that. He just coming forward. And a guy like Boots is going to put a show on. It's going to be a highlight. I mean, you probably going to see Atlantic City turn into Philadelphia. Man, shout out to my brother YSM. I know he's going to be there. I know my man G Hack is going to be there as well. So it's going to be a terrific show. And I think this is Boots' chance to show everybody who he really is. But that being said, go ahead.
It's funny you say that. No, I'm saying it's funny you say that, because I think Stanionis is a white version of Virgil Ortiz. I think he's a white version of Virgil Ortiz. They fight similar style. They run in the high guard and they come forward. They throw big shots. They very seldom use their jab. They use it at times, but very seldom do they use their jab. They just come behind that high guard and try to put the pressure on you and break you down. I think he's a white version of Virgil Ortiz. So you saying that Stanionis is not that good, you basically saying Virgil not that good neither.
Well, Virgil's done the work, so you can put it however you want, but Virgil done the work. Beat Matchimov, beat Borchek.
Stanionis wanted that smoke. He wanted that smoke. He waited 2 years to get that smoke, and Virgil was never able to give it to him.
He couldn't make the weight.
I know. I didn't say anything wrong. I said he was never able to give it to him. He wanted the smoke. He waited. He pretty much put 2 years of his career on hold to fight Virgil, and he was never able to get it.
He definitely did, and that just goes to show why it's so important to be fighting in a white weight class. And I think Virgil from the gate was way too big for 47. But one thing I will say, I was looking at the David Benavidez versus Bivol fight, and I think Bivol would beat him pretty easy, because with the Soviet style going in and out, it'll be very similar to how he beat Canelo. Because David has fast hands, but his feet are in the mud. We've seen him improve on his defense, but his feet are horrible still. So I just think if he was to fight Bivol, I could see Bivol really piecing him up, because I think we already know now Bivol got a chin. He got a beard on him, because nobody was taking them fights from my man Beterbiev until Bivol. I mean, he was hitting him a couple times flush, and he didn't go nowhere. So I don't really want the trilogy. I don't know if you want the trilogy, but I don't want the trilogy. But it looks like we're going to get it, because we never got a trilogy with Sugar Ray Leonard versus Duran. So you don't always need a trilogy. That's just something people want to do to do it. I mean, I'm cool with it being 1-1. What about you?
I mean, we don't always get a trilogy. I mean, we end up getting a trilogy from Sugar Ray and Hearns. I think the reason why we didn't get a trilogy with Roberto is I think Roberto ended up moving up, and he ended up going up and fighting Hagler. Sugar Ray stayed at 47, and he eventually moved up to 60, but he stayed at 47. So I think it was more so Roberto had moved up. He fought Tommy Hitman Hearns. He got knocked out by him. And then he moved up to fight Hagler, and he got knocked out by Hagler. And then I think people just didn't care to see Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto. They saw what they thought they should have saw in the first fight. He made Roberto quit. It wasn't like it was a close fight, and it deserved to get a rematch because the first fight was a close fight, or the first fight Roberto won, and then the second fight was a close fight, and Sugar Ray pulled it out. Sugar Ray made him quit, so they were like, "Nah, we don't care to see it no more."
Yeah, and you know what I was gonna say? I kind of don't like the narrative that's being pushed as if we need the third fight. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm kind of done with it. I mean, but Cherviev was already 40. I mean, it's just showing he's not the same guy he was. I mean, what do you think?
This coming from a man that's always talking about maybe we can get 3 fights out of it. No, now you don't want to see
when they're young, yeah. When they're young, when they're young, free.
I mean, we got 3 fights out of Triple G and Canelo. Triple G was 40. So I mean, we got 3 fights out of it.
That last one we got, man, we were scraping the bottom of the barrel on that one, brother. If Bivol goes out there and let Arthur know, hey, it's the end of the rope for you, dog. You might need to hang it up. I mean, he could go out there. I mean, then again, Arthur might go out there and sleep him this time. I mean, who knows? But I mean, I want to see a third fight because I want to know, okay, who is the actual champion? Because both those fights was pretty close. I think Bivol pulled it out in the middle rounds in the second fight. I think Arthur pulled it out in the later rounds in the first fight. So I want to see who's the better guy between the two, because both of those fights was pretty close. You can give Arthur around here, around there in the second fight. You can give Bivol around here, around there in the first fight. So they was pretty close. But I want to see who's actually the better guy, because right now neither one of them got knocked out in neither one of the fights, and it's 1-1. So I'd rather see who's the actual better fighter between the two. It's not like the whole Deontay Wilder. People said they didn't want to see the third fight because Deontay Wilder got beat up in the second fight. Deontay Wilder didn't even have to give him the second fight because there was no rematch clause for the draw. Deontay Wilder gave him a rematch because he gave him his word. But I mean, so if we got a third fight with that, I mean, why not get a third fight with this one? If we got a third fight with Canelo and Triple G, why not get a third fight with this one? So I mean, we'll see what happens. Were you a big fan of that fight? Did you like that third fight, Triple G versus Canelo?
I didn't like none of the fights from Triple G and Canelo. I thought both of those guys were 2 ducks that wasn't trying to fight nobody but each other.
Hey, that's free right there. that's not beanie free. That's just free right there. That brother said it was 2 ducks that didn't want to fight nobody.
I'm just keeping it honest. Daggone Triple G didn't want to fight Boo Boo Andrade. Canelo didn't want to fight Boo Boo. None of them wanted to fight Jamal. So I'm like, man, they might as well fight each other. 2 ducks fighting each other. Go ahead and fight each other. Y'all part of the same cloth.
Hey, one thing about my brother Free, he don't play around, man. If he think he was duck, he gonna say just that.
I hate when people say, "Oh, that's easy work. They make easy work." Well, go in there and get the daggone easy money. I say it all the time. I don't know anybody that don't want to get an easy payday. I mean, if you could stay home and make the same amount of money you make at work, you'll stay at home. So everybody want an easy payday. I don't know anybody who don't want an easy payday.
Yeah. I think the funny thing about it, man, no matter how they put it, a lot of these guys, man, you just said it right over there. A lot of these guys just don't want to fight each other, man. And that's kind of how it's been since the beginning of time. I really don't even get upset about it no more because a lot of guys don't want to fight, but that's how it goes, man.
Yeah, that's the reason why we gotta keep it straight down the middle, regardless of how you feel about the fighter. If the guys ain't taking the fight and the fight is there to be made, you gotta call it what it is. Like the whole thing with Bivol. I like Bivol, but they saying he turned down $8 million. No, you turned down $8 million, and like I said, I know what he's doing. He's listening to Turkey, and from the report, they saying Turkey is giving him $10 million to fight this trilogy. Okay, that's fine. You're getting $10 million, but the facts remain. You still duck this man that we all know is your mandatory. You could have just easily went in there and fight him and say, okay, after I fight him, I'll fight you, Bivol. I mean, Arthur. I gotta go fulfill this mandatory because if I don't, they're gonna take the belt. You won't be fighting for undisputed. You'll be fighting for 3 belts. So let me go ahead, fight him, beat him, and then I'll come back and fight you in the trilogy. So. I mean, it is what
Salute
it is.
to my brother Piro. Salute to Bentley. I'll say this, man. One thing about David Benavidez, man, he's one of those guys where I'll be honest, man. I like David Benavidez a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like how he did some stuff with the Canelo thing because I thought it was all cap. But one thing about Bivol, not Bivol. One thing about the Mexican Monster, man, he really comes to fight every night. And I just kind of wish he was signed to PBC directly. And I like Samson, but I just wish he was signed to PBC directly because I feel like David Benavidez is one of those guys where he just needs his signature fight. That's all it is. Caleb Plant got a go ahead. Caleb Plant got a hole in his gas tank. And on top of that, he's just one of those guys where I think he just needs to. He got to get a signature fight. I don't know who that is, who the signature fight is for him, because he beat Morrell easy, and I was totally shocked by that. So I don't know, man. He got some work to do. Go ahead.
The problem is nobody is signed to PBC directly. Everybody, if they don't have their own promotional company, they sign to a management, and they under the umbrella of PBC. PBC don't promote any fighter. They're just the advisor and a promotional company for these fighters. Right. They fight under their banner. Nobody is actually signed directly to PBC. They just under that. They signed to that banner. Like with Top Rank, you're signed to Top Rank. Bob Arum makes all of your fight. Yeah, Al Heyman advised guys, but he's not so much really making the fights. He's just advising them what fights should they take, what fights should they not take. He's just advising them. That's what he is. He's the advisor. So, but he's not the actual promoter. These guys either have their own promotional company or they deal with Tom Brown. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, nobody really actually signed to PBC. It's not PBC Promotions. They're promoted by Tom Brown if they don't have their own promotional company. They're promoted by Tom Brown, not PBC.
Yeah, I'm just speaking strictly as a fan, and I'm just saying what I see with some of these guys. I just wish they could be moved a little bit better than they are. That's all. Because when I look at a guy like David Benavidez, the sky's the limit for this guy, man. It really is.
He's taking the fights that we want to see him take. He went up there and we said we want to see him in there with Arthur or Bivol, whoever wins that fight. And he went after Bivol. He was the winner. He went after Bivol. He let them get the rematch because he was actually supposed to fight them after the first fight, but he let them get the rematch. And he said, "Okay, well, let me get my chance." And Bivol said, "Well, I'm gonna drop my belt and fight Arthur a third time, and then maybe Bivol swings back around and fight David after he fights Arthur the third time, or maybe Arthur goes after David if he beats Bivol in this third fight. I don't know because he will have the other belt, so they will have 3. He will have the other one. So if they want to consider themselves an undisputed champion, they will have to fight David Benavidez for that fourth belt.
Yeah, I could see how that makes sense. I just don't see that fight happening, man. I really don't. Not at this time. My man Mike said one thing. David also said he's not going to wait on Canelo. He's going to build his own legacy, and that's one thing I have. Like, I just feel like him getting an email belt wasn't good. I think he should have turned that down. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
Well, the only reason why he's getting the belt is because the other guy turned it down. He ain't turned down anything. He said, "I want to fight." The other guy turned it down. Now they could have paid him step aside money. He could have said, "Okay, I'll sit back and wait for the winner of this third fight, and then I'm definitely stepping on the gas to get my shot." But I don't think they offer him any step aside money. I think that might have been the issue. They didn't offer him any step aside money. They just turned the fight down. So
yeah, that might have been a mistake.
I think they should have offer him step aside and say, "Hey, look, I know you want to fight one of us, or I know you want your title shot. Let me go ahead and fight this guy. We're going to pay you 1.5 just to step aside, or $2 million to step aside, and let us get this fight on, and then we'll fight you after this fight is over with."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna fault him for taking the belt because the other guy said he don't want to fight and he's gonna fight this other guy. I'm not gonna fault him. I mean, nobody's gonna turn down the belt. If the belt is being given to you, you're gonna take it. You're the champion, now they gotta come fight you. So anybody, I don't care who it is, if the belt is being given to you, you're gonna take it. I don't care if your name is Canelo or your name is daggone Josh Padley. You're gonna take it if they're giving you the belt.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. But tonight at 9:30, we got a show. It's gonna be the Prize and Just Ask Juan show. Good show. I think you guys are gonna really enjoy it. We working on that now. It's gonna come on at 9:30. And like I said, me and Free, we working on getting the World with the Punches podcast. We trying to do our due diligence to get ourselves together and give you guys great content because I see we growing. Shout out to my man, Prison Talk Tommy. I'll put it like this. I'm just excited about what's going on. You know, as my grandmother would say it best, I'm excited about what God's doing. I don't know if you ever heard that, Free. We used to be on the church bus, and my grandma said all the time, I'm excited about what God's doing. Because y'all know, man, Free is one of the funniest dudes on YouTube, man, because the way he was talking about your boy, Duckett, man. You know, you almost believe Canelo was ducking. You listen to my man Free. That's how funny he is. Man. He actually make you think he's ducking, man.
The man duck. I mean, we got to call it how we see it. This man asked for $150 to $200 million. I'm like, dog, who you think you fighting? El Pablo? You fighting bag on the monster. That man hasn't made 150 in his entire career. You can name probably your whole resume outside of Floyd. Ain't none of them men made $100 million in their daggone career. I mean,
you know what's so funny? When I heard Canelo say that, I thought he was joking, but I will tell you this. He's not. He really think he should be getting paid like that.
And everybody's like, "Oh, well, Canelo getting $100 million over there." No, it's a 4-fight deal. He's not getting $100 million per fight. It's a 4-fight deal. So if y'all think he's getting $100 million per fight, y'all tripping.
And from what I hear, Free, he's not making as much money as people think either. That's the part that shocked me. They say.
Turkey over there, he putting these guys to that daggone pay scale that he was talking about. According to some people, I don't know how true it is, but some people say he offered Shakur $500,000 to fight Wilson pay. I was like, well, hey, he said he was coming out with this pay scale, so maybe he said, Shakur, you're not on the top level of this pay scale. So I mean, that's what
but I give you credit though, Free. You were early in that where you said You said BVO, this ain't gonna last, bro. This ain't gonna last. And I gotta get a Puerto Rican his props because he was probably one of the first guys I heard on YouTube saying this ain't gonna last.
No, those guys that's been fighting for $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, they're not gonna accept that pay scale. They're gonna be like, hold on. No. I understand what you're doing with the upcoming fighters, but we ain't that. We ain't signing that. So I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think it's going. Like I said, I don't see how it's going to kick off the way they expect it to kick off when you have the actual sport of boxing going on, and then you want to start your own league, and you got a bunch of guys that nobody knows, and you think it's going to compete with the actual sport of boxing. No. For one, you're on an app that a lot of the boxing casual, or majority of the boxing casuals, do not have. They don't have that app. So that's one negative on your side. And then you giving them a bunch of fighters that they don't know. That's the second negative. And then they don't know you. That's 3 negatives. So I don't see how it's going to kick off. I just don't.
I'm just, you know what I will say though? I'm shocked though that Turkey came so ill prepared because he almost comes off as if he's shocked. They're planning out the way he thought they would. I mean, it's like, did he do any research before he came to the States, or I don't know, man.
No, I mean, most of them think same thing like with Eddie Hearn. Most of them think they can just throw money around and people just going to fall in line. Yeah, they're going to fall in line as long as you're giving them the money. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them going to fall in line as long as you're giving them the money. Once you're not giving them money no more, they're like, man, who you talking to? No, I ain't listening to you. You ain't giving me no money. It's almost like a female that gets with a gold. That's a gold digger. She's around you while you got the money. As soon as you lose that daggone job or you not on the corner no more, man, she going with the next dude. Oh, you can't provide for me no more? Bet. I'm out. Just like that. That's how these boxers are. You can't give me what you've been giving me. Oh, I'm signing with somebody else. I'm out. I'm not dealing with this.
You know what's so funny about that? Remember when Danny Jacobs took that money from the Zone and he had been with PBC for years? I mean, some people, man, you pay them $1 more and they gone, man. It's just that simple, man. But I was shocked about that. Go ahead.
I mean, I was saying all these guys, and it's called prize fighting. All these guys, the prize is the money. Everybody say, "Oh, the belts." No, the money is the prize. If there ain't no daggone belts on the line, these dudes are still gonna fight. If you giving them $2-3 million to fight, they still gonna fight. They don't care about the belts. They want to be called the champion, but if they can get the money and there's no belts on the line, they're going after the money. You say, okay, I mean, we was talking about this on CDK earlier. He said, I don't think Williams or Payton will fight for $100,000 for the belt. So, okay, let's use that as example. You got a belt on the line, and you say, hey, I'm gonna give you $150,000, $200,000 to fight for this belt, but you're gonna be considered a champion in your division. And there's no other champion but you. And then you tell that same fighter, hey, you can fight for that belt and become the champion, and you be the top dog as the champion, but you can come fight this guy, and I give you $2 million. Which one you gonna take? You're gonna take the $2 million. That at the end of the day, that belt is not going to provide for you the way that $2 million will provide for you.
Hey, you definitely right, because one thing I'm especially learning with boxing, man, ain't no loyalty in boxing, bro. These dudes do what they want to do, man. They really do, man.
You got a few guys that's loyal. Everybody else is following that dollar. Wherever they can get the most money, that's where they're going. You got a few guys that's gonna hold tight and be loyal to who put them on, who got them where they at. You got a few guys that's gonna do that. These other guys, man, all you gotta do is flash the green in front of them, and that's where they going. We done seen it many times before. How many times have we seen somebody change promotional company within the last year? We saw Jaron in this. We saw Shakur Stevenson. We saw what's his name? Jaime McGill. We saw Jose Ramirez. We see guys change promotional companies all the time. Whoever's giving them the best value, that's where they're going at.
Yeah. Hey, you ain't lying, man. Like my man said coming to me, he ain't lying. Because one thing I found out, man, a lot of these guys, man, like you said, they do what's best for them, and that's it. But salute to my brother GD hanging out with the brothers. I'm shocked, my man GD hanging out with the brothers. I'm proud of you, man. I'm gonna give you your black card back. Shout out to my man GD, one of my favorite cats to mess with. Hey, and we coming back with the Roll with the Punches podcast. Like I said, me and Free gonna be more consistent, having fun up here, talking back and forth. We doing our thing. Tomorrow we gonna have my guy Brian Norman Jr. Senior come on. Saturday before the fights, we gonna have my brother Drew Titan's gonna come talk to us before the fight. So keep your eyes out. Roll with the Punches podcast is back. And we working on an interview. We might even have my guy 78 Sports coming here for an interview. So cross your fingers, man. We're gonna have some fun.
Y'all don't want to miss tomorrow. Y'all gonna see something y'all have never seen before. This man BVO is gonna have the pom-poms out tomorrow. BVO gonna have the pom-poms out tomorrow. Y'all ain't gonna want to miss it. I'm telling you.
Hey, that brother's ice cold. You say he talk about me because I'm black. That's cold. That's cold, man. He about as bad as you, GD. Man, so all I had a pom-poms up.
They're going to say something that's going to go past BVO ears that's going to sound a little controversial. BVO going to be like, you know what? They absolutely right. I'm like, oh
man, don't say that. Don't say that about your brother, man. Come on, man. Oh, and don't forget, on Thursday, we got the Roll with the Punches podcast and the Angry White Man or the Angry White Man in the Roll with the Punches podcast. William Old School, D1. My God, the great debater, man. Free Money is going to be there, or as my man Marky call him, Freelio. He's going to be in the house, man. So we're going to have some fun. And we know BVO don't never have no pom-poms. BVO always shoots it straight, man. Shout out to my partner D-Free on the propaganda. And we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget at 9:30, we got my man Crush coming in with Just Ask One. On that note, we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.